Hello! It's been a long time since we've done a kids club video. I hope you are all doing well. I miss your faces. I miss meeting with you. And even though there's so much that's had to be different, and we have been back inside and we haven't been meeting in the building, we thought it might be fun to do a caroling night. So in a little bit, I'm going to take you over to my folks' house and we are going to do some Christmas carols. But I want you guys to think about what your favorite Christmas memories are. I know that one of mine as a grown-up is putting this tree together. I have, look at that, so many ornaments on my Christmas tree, and it's a tiny tree. I need a bigger tree. But each one of these ornaments, if I can get this for you, has a name on it. So like these two deer. These are from Izzy and Oliver, I think. Let's see, do I have Izzy? See her name right there? It's 2009. So Elliot wasn't even born yet. I know this is Isabel's very first ornament. I got this one from my mother in 2013. I have their pictures on some of them. There's one of Izzy. One year we made ornaments. I think Oliver made that one. Here's a picture of Oliver. I know I have an Elliot up here somewhere. And so this Christmas tree isn't just a tree for pretties and sparkles. It's a tree full of memories. On the bottom here, I'm pretty sure this one, Elliot, 2015. So every year my kids get a new ornament, put it on our Christmas tree. And then every year when we put them up, we look for the ones that have our name on it, and that's something special that we do. So it's not just about the item, it's about the memory that it brings, whether they were in dance or when Oliver did football or baseball, or he never did football, he did baseball. And so we do that. And then something that I still carry on is I love to sing with my family. It's one of my favorites. And when the weather isn't all crazy with COVID and there isn't distance involved, sometimes we go to people's houses and sing at their door and we carol. But since we can't do that this year, I'm hoping that you will join us in singing some songs. So you can turn your TV on as loud as you want or put your phone up as loud as you want and join us in some Christmas carols.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joy strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo,
I was 3 years old and I was asked to be the angel in the church Christmas pageant. And I was so disappointed because as an angel, you don't get to say or sing anything. And so 1 week before the Christmas pageant, the little girl that was supposed to sing, who had a lot of weeks to practice, they called and asked this 3-year-old child if she would sing. And of course, my mother said yes. And I remember Mom showed it to me, and it was 3 verses. And I was so scared, but I really didn't know enough to be super frightened because I was only 3. But I sang really perfect all the way through, and I remember just how everybody came up and said, I was the perfect little angel, and I felt so special because I really thought I did a good job. And at 3 years old, I thought, I learned 3 verses all by myself.
And that's your favorite Christmas memory?
Yes.
Thank you, Cheryl.
O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King.
favorite memory was when I was about 5 and my brother was 7. And he came rushing in the middle of the night and said, "Tim, Santa's been here." And we ran downstairs, and under the tree were presents we had never seen before. And it was loaded to the gills. We got a wagon, we got a bike, packages of all sorts and shapes. And it was, you know, an absolutely wonderful Christmas.
My favorite Christmas memory is coming over to my grandparents' house every year and just seeing it like super Christmassy. My favorite Christmas memory is about 3 years ago when we went caroling with our entire family, and it was lots of fun. We were out there for about 2 hours, and even though our legs got sore, we still had a lot of fun.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgins gather and child, holy infants so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
My favorite Christmas memory is Ava and Jack coming.
Who are Ava and Jack?
My cousins.
It is not technically Christmas in my world until this particular item comes out. This is Marty the Moose. He's been part of Christmas since I can remember. So it's officially Christmas, and one of my favorite Christmas memories is getting this out on the mantle.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. Angels and the nature sing, angels and the nature sing. He rules the world with truth and grace.
My favorite memory? Let me think. Oh, I know. This one Christmas, the whole squirrel family was going to go to Paris. So we all went to bed and we are going to leave on Christmas morning. So we all went to bed and then the alarm clock didn't go off. And everybody got up except they forgot me. And everybody left and they jumped on a plane and they started flying to Paris. But it was just me. I was all by myself in the house. And then these two burglars came. And I had to set up a series of intricate booby traps to try and dissuade the burglars from trying to come in to get me. So, like they came in and then I played this movie and this guy was shooting a machine gun and then they heard it and he thought...
This doesn't sound like your memory. This sounds like a movie plot.
Oh, wait, that's Home Alone. Oh,
What?
I just watched that the other day. It's so... Have you seen that? It's so funny.
Squirrelington, I asked for your favorite Christmas memory.
All right. A real one.
Yes, your memory.
Okay. All right. So one Christmas Eve, I went to sleep, and I was determined this Christmas Eve I would stay up because I wanted to meet Santa. So we all went to sleep, except I really didn't. I laid awake in bed. And I laid awake as long as I could. My brother was going to also try, but he didn't make it. He fell asleep. So I was laying there, one eye open, waiting. And suddenly, there was a crash, and it sounded like it came from the basement. I was terrified. Finally, this is my chance. I was going to meet Santa. So I laid in bed. I was terrified. Finally, I got the courage to get up and go downstairs. I go downstairs, and as luck would have it, my dad had also awakened to such commotion in the basement. And he had already checked it out, and there was nothing there. So I went back to bed, again with one eye open, waiting for Santa. But I fell asleep. And I woke up the next morning, and there were a billion presents, and it was awesome. But I almost got to meet Santa Claus that night.
That is a very cool memory. I hope you all enjoyed all of the Christmas stories and the Christmas caroling, and that it was maybe just even a taste of Christmas, even though it's a little different. And with all the stories we're sharing, do you actually know who we're singing about and why we celebrate, why we bring out trees?
Do I?
Yeah, do you know?
Yeah.
Why?
Baby Jesus.
That's right. Is he still a baby?
No, he's all grown up now.
That's right. Do you know how he came? Like, what was the story of Christmas Day?
Yes.
What was it?
He was born in a manger because there's no room in the inn. And then there's 3 kings and they follow a star. And there's donkeys and shepherds and angels. It was an awesome story.
It is. So Jesus' story in a small nutshell is that Mary and Joseph were heading off to Bethlehem for a census. Do you know what a census is?
Like taste and smell and...
That's senses.
Yep.
No, the census.
No.
The census is when they record everybody, like how many people live in your town. We do one now. I have to say me and Isabel and Oliver and Elliot and you, because you were living during the census. So they had to go to Bethlehem. And when they get there, because there were so many people there because of the census, there was no more room left. But this one guy kind of takes some pity on Mary and sees that she's super duper pregnant, right? So he gives her a stable. And in that stable, there was probably animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she gives birth to Jesus. And this is how cool it is. God, the maker of everything, the maker of the universe, chose to come to Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. He wasn't even born in a hospital. He was born in a barn, essentially. And he came in circumstances that were kind of crazy. Did you know that Mary wasn't even married to Joseph at the time yet?
She wasn't?
No, because she got pregnant by the Holy Spirit. It was all kinds of miracles. That was like God's baby. So Jesus is truly fully God and fully human. And he came to say to us, I'm going to come to you. And I don't just come to the best of you. I come to all of you. And then everybody, there was a star, and these wise men followed the star. Do you know how old Jesus was by the time they actually got there? You thought he was a baby, didn't you?
He was a baby?
No, he was like 2 years old. And then there
It
was
took him 2 years to get there?
yes, they
Why
like
didn't they take a bus?
there weren't buses back then. They walked it, possibly on camels, but they even went and talked to the King Herod. And King Herod really did not like this idea that there was a Messiah, that there was going to be a king of the Jews. So he actually tried to tell the wise men who stopped there, were like, hey, do you know that you have this king that was born? And he's like, wait, what? You know where he is? And they're like, no, we're trying to find him. And the king said, if you find him, come back and tell me where he is. So after the wise men saw baby Jesus, or 2-year-old Jesus, they had a dream. An angel came to them and said, whatever you do, don't go back to the king. So the wise men left on a different road. And then Joseph had a dream, and it said, Mary, we got to go. And then they left, and baby Jesus wasn't captured by the king. So that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually after that, we don't hear about Jesus again until he's 13 years old.
Wow.
But angels came out and sang. Shepherds saw angels sing. Wise men saw angels. Joseph saw an angel. Mary saw an angel. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. And so now we celebrate, and this is the celebration of Jesus' birth. So as we tell stories and as we give gifts, we remember that our biggest gift is that God came to be with us. God chose to live as a human because of how much he loves us and wants us to know him. How amazing is that?
Pretty cool.
Merry Christmas. Next week, we're going to be doing a craft together. So you can come by the church and pick up supplies as of Sunday, and then we will do a craft together on Wednesday for Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.